And welcome back to the OHIO podcast. I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs, and this is another edition of What's Bugging Boggsy. I hope you're enjoying your Week 3 Saturday of college football. I know I am. No stress this week, no Buckeyes to watch. I'm literally sitting back in my easy chair watching all the games. We're at halftime as I record this through the first set of games today, and I'm going to be sitting back watching all of them, soaking it all in and enjoying every single one of them, and I hope you are as well. One team that's enjoying a decent first half, I would call it decent, although it was 7-3 for the majority of the first half until late in the first half, and that's the team up north who is currently winning as I record this 21-3 over Arkansas State. Now, this video is about an individual who is a fan of that team up north, who I discovered on social media this week, who has been an absolute hoot to follow as he no doubt deals with the reality that his team is not what they used to be. And there's different ways to cope with that. Ohio State fans have had to cope with the past 3 years of understanding that things in Ann Arbor were better than Columbus based off of wins and losses. However, as more and more information comes out about the scandal that's happening in Ann Arbor, how Jim Harbaugh left that program, how the NCAA has come in and investigated things, it seems mighty obvious that things are not nearly as good in Ann Arbor as the fan base would like for you to believe they have been over the past 3 seasons. Nor is that team nearly as good in 2024 as they were in 2023, as their fan base deals with coping with the reality that this year's version of the Mitten Kittens can't hold a candle in the wind to what they had last year when Jim Harbaugh was head coach. Their offensive line was fantastic. And by the way, Connor Stallions was there on the sideline for the first part of the season, feeding that defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator the other team's plays, and the momentum that they rode through the past 3 years from all of that. That being said, this year's version of the Loserines, not even close, as reality in the form of Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns walked into Ann Arbor and smacked them around like they were literally Northwestern, okay? That's what it felt like last week. So, no offense to Northwestern. I like you guys generally, but yeah, I think you understand the sentiment there. Now, what do I mean when I say a team is coping or that fan base is trying to cope with the reality? This is what I mean right here. Cope refers to a mechanism or self-delusion that an individual clings to in order to survive a situation that seems insurmountable. Okay, let's be honest here, guys. That's exactly what's going on in this fan base as they try to understand that they're going to be nowhere near what they were the previous 3 seasons this year. Can this team improve? Absolutely. They could get better. It's early in the season, but hey, reality check. And if you have anybody in that fan base who believes for 1 second that this team is somehow going to go on a college football playoff run, make the Big Ten championship game, or any of those goals that they talked about at the beginning of the season, or even possibly repeat. I've still seen fans talking about that. Guys, they are completely delusional. That roster that is in Ann Arbor is nowhere near as good as they've been in the past couple years. Plus, like I had stated in the preseason, and I stand by my prediction, and boy does my prediction seem to be absolutely right, this team is only a couple of injuries on that defensive line away from being extremely mid. The offense is pretty much non-existent. They're very one-dimensional. That offensive line is nowhere near as good as they have been. And since they don't know their opponent's plays, boy, that defense doesn't look nearly as good either. And that's what everybody up there was hanging their hat on, thinking that they were going to be able to achieve their goals through a superb defense. And it's not that. So, that being said, I ran across this fella's account that absolutely has tickled me. This is on Facebook, and his name is the State Up North, Ohio, Indiana Sports Talk. Now, I've tried to research and follow his links and look and find. He's not a sports talk channel. He has no podcast. He's not on the radio. I can't find this guy on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, you name it, X, Twitter. I can't find him on TikTok. He is a Facebook page, and maybe his name should have been, based off of everything I'm seeing, the State Up North I Hate Ohio State meme maker, because that's technically what this guy is doing. There's not much sports talk at all involved here, and nor is there any conversing on a channel at all. But I digress. This guy is coping so hard, I had to share it with you guys because it is absolutely hilarious. Now, I went back a few weeks ago from even before the season started, and I have pulled some of the highlights of this fella's posts that I can't help but to share with all of you as we all amuse ourselves with the coping of one State Up North Ohio, Indiana Sports Talk. Here we go. Number one. So he posted this that he found on Saturday down south. So he's going to the south here, so the SEC country, and he slaps truth on this comment. Ohio State reminds us so much of the Live Golf Tour, not quite the best, but will pay you crazy money to come play there. Now, I'm not a golf guy. I know a little bit about golf, but I know this much. Live went after some of the best talent. They paid for the best talent, and they look at that as an investment because they're an entertainment company that is trying to portray a different angle on golf than has ever existed. Last time I checked, NIL was legal. Ohio State is not going to get in trouble for a deep NIL program. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this guy would love for that State Up North and that team up north in which he cheers for to have as good of an NIL program as Ohio State does. But since they don't, he's got to, word of the day, cope with those facts, and he runs to an SEC account to find this comment to then say, this is truth. Okay, let me explain something to you and to the rest of the world about the SEC, which we all know is in bed with ESPN. The reason why you have seen them try to go after Ohio State's NIL and quote-unquote buying a team or buying a championship so hard is because for the first time in decades through legal NIL, teams in the North, including your own, bozo, have the ability now to compete with the teams in the South who were doing illegal NIL for decades in recruiting, now in the transfer portal, etc. But instead of saying, yes, we are on level ground finally, this guy has to try to cope with the fact that Ohio State has a better roster than the team in which he roots for. Dude, are you serious with this comment, dude? This is some serious hard coping right here, man. Seriously. All right, moving on. It gets better. Trust me. It gets even better with this guy. All right, now this one. Woo! So obviously he goes to Netflix, right? And he watches the Connor Stallions Netflix special. Look at this word salad he puts together. This is probably why he needs to change his name from Sports Talk, because he tries to write a small little couple paragraphs here, an explanation of his take on the Connor Stallions Netflix special. According to Connor Stallions attorney Brad Beckworth, Stallions, by the way, you need an apostrophe after your S since Connor Stallion is is that's his attorney. He's taking ownership of that attorney. Just helping you out with your English there, pal. Stallion's personal private data was breached by someone that did not have permission or legal authority to do so, which is a violation of civil law and could be a bigger crime. Bigger than what? So you're admitting that there was a crime with the team that you're rooting for, right? If it's a bigger crime than what? You're admitting a crime took place? Gotcha. That person believed to be tied or associated with Ohio State University. Put a "the" in front of that with some respect, my friend. The NCAA prosecution, by the way, that's not a complete sentence, but I'll digress. The NCAA prosecution associates was asked by Stallion's attorney, Beckworth, was Stallion's personal private data taken without Stallion's consent? And they refused to answer. What in the world is happening here? Interesting note, my friend. So this is what you need to understand about this, okay? You're taking from that clip the video that was played when the NCAA attorneys were questioning Stallion's and his attorneys were present with him. The NCAA was not under question. That's a completely different legal aspect when the NCAA's lawyers would be questioned by another law team. They did not, nor were they under any legal premise to answer any of those questions that those lawyers asked them. The whole reason why those questions were asked, recorded, and played on this video is to try to get your boy Connor to save face. That's the only reason. There is zero legality that he has going after the NCAA. By the way, the NCAA did not fire him. The university that you root for let him go to save their face. So he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on with the NCAA at all. Now, if he wants to argue that somehow his computer and hard drive was illegally tapped, he has to know who it was tapped by, and where that information came out from, and then he might have some legal grounds to stand on. But even then, I will explain why his lawyers do not want to do that in your next clear, unbelievable word salad of a paragraph. If Connor Stallions wants to clear his name, so his name's not cleared already, so he's a criminal, hence your first paragraph, he needs to become proactive, not reactive to the NCAA. He and his attorneys need to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the. Where did you come up with that figure from? A multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the NCAA sooner than later. The suit against the NCAA should be for them receiving and publishing information that was illegally obtained. How do you know it was illegally obtained? Because the lawyer said so in one Netflix show? Was that information given by the University of Michigan to the NCAA? Is it possible that the government seized that information? Oh, we need to sue the government to clear his name. Dude, you're fishing in the dark here, man. A suit would allow him to have discovery and put the NCAA under oath. It would also allow them to force the NCAA to provide all documentation and information in the NCAA obtained concerning Stallions. First off, the reason why this guy will never go after the NCAA to force, quote unquote, in your words, discovery is because if he does, he doesn't want what he knows is illegal, and you do as well, to also be public information. The last thing the University of Dumb wants to do is to throw all discovery out and all their skeletons to come out of their closet. You really think Connor Stallions wants that to happen? This is why he went to Netflix, so he wouldn't let this happen, dude. Dude, you're coping so hard that you're literally not seeing the truth that's smacking you right in the face. Here we go. Let me throw this one back up at you so you understand what this is. Truth. Something you're obviously missing in your whole Connor Steins. Now, we got more, guys. I'm telling you, this goes on and on and on. Man, this boy's coping hard. Here we go. Oh, yes. Let's use Kyle McCord now to back up our delusion and make us feel better about the lack of quarterback play that's happening in Ann Arbor. Boy, let's just hit him with this one again. Truth. All right, buddy, here we go again. Let me explain this to you. Kyle McCord wasn't the problem at Ohio State. Did you not watch the game? Dude, are you kidding me? The guy literally had zero respect from his teammates. He did not command the huddle. He never could move in the pocket. He stared down one receiver the entire season. The guy had, I don't know how many intentional grounding penalties. He didn't elevate anybody's play. In fact, everybody elevated him. He has 2 good games in Syracuse after starting for a season at Ohio State, transferring to Syracuse, has 2 good games, and you're busting out the truth. The problem at Ohio State was not Kyle McCord. Why are you even posting this? Because you're trying to cope with your reality. It is a defense mechanism to fall back on trying to make yourself feel better by trying to make others feel worse. It's the same thing that little 12-year-old girls do in middle school to one another, bro. That's exactly what you're doing. You're no better than a 12-year-old girl who gets on Snapchat or Instagram and makes fun of somebody else to try to make herself feel better about her situation, my man. Seriously. Truth. Can you cope any harder? Listen, it could be absolutely fact that not only is Kyle McCord better off in Syracuse than he is at Columbus, Ohio, because of the size of the media, the expectations. He has more respect from his teammates. He's more comfortable being closer to home. The situation, he comes in more as a leader and doesn't have to try to make up ground or lose his starting job to someone else at Ohio State. And Ohio State at the same time can absolutely be better. That Will Howard, Julian Sain, Air Nolan are all people who are in Ohio State's quarterback room now, and he isn't. Both can be true at the same time. So while you're out there trying to spit your truth, maybe you should find the truth and help with your coping. All right. We ain't done. We're still not done. We got more from this feller. Oh, yes. How about this one? Let's keep talking quarterbacks, shall we? So, Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns last week coming to Ann Arbor. Smack them around. Beat them bad. I mean, it was ugly with a capital U. And all of Michigan Twitter and their fan base on the message boards are just dogging their team after they realized how bad things were truly in Ann Arbor for 2024 under new head coach Sharon Moore. And you have this guy reposting a college football report tweet here. Quinn Ewers really left Ohio State over 2 years ago and beat Michigan before they did. Well, it's not like you guys had opportunity to go after Texas multiple times. All right. Last time I checked, they got beat by Washington last year, who you beat in the national championship game. So you didn't get a chance to beat them then. And number 2, let us remind you that the best quarterback in college football for 2 years, who went to the NFL, who won the freshman or the rookie offensive NFL player of the year, breaking NFL passing records that had previously been set. He's number one quarterback as a rookie ever to play in the NFL, talking about C.J. Stroud, somehow lost twice to you guys? And yeah, that's right. Connor Stallions had nothing to do with that because everybody was cheating, right? 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 That's what you think? I'm sure it's what you think because you're trying to cope with the truth while dealing with your delusion, my friend. So, yeah, you get beat bad by this guy, and the first thing you do is take a picture of him with a stupid tweet to try to make yourself feel better. You just got your butt destroyed by him, and you're posting pictures about him to help you cope. Dude, that's bad. That is a bad look on your part. But hey, whatever makes you feel better, right? And then the one that beats them all, the one that caused me to make this video about your stupid account, the one that said, oh my gosh, this guy's delusion he might need mental help. He actually might need somebody to go and talk to him. He might need a counselor after watching this one, reading this one. I don't even have words for this. I really don't have words for this. This is so... I don't want this video to get flagged because what I really want to say is so inappropriate and non-politically correct. This is so dumb. I can't even begin to even tear this down because you make yourself look so bad. You have to understand that bye weeks are predetermined. When schedules are made, bye weeks are predetermined. You have to understand that, right? I mean, I know you understand that. I know you cannot be that slow. You cannot. So understanding that you know that, trying to dunk on your rival's fan base, and then on top of that, using a picture of Ben Roethlisberger from the NFL on a cart, which makes zero sense in your meme, saying that this is Ohio State's bye week after playing MAC teams for 2 weeks, might be the most ludicrous, idiotic, dumbest thing I have seen on your account. And man, there's a lot of dumb on your account, bro. A lot of bad, dumb, stupid, ignorant things. This takes the cake, man. This absolutely. And then you have the laughing emoji. You do realize everybody's going to be laughing at you. They're not laughing with you. The college world is laughing at you. Do yourself a favor. Take sports talk off of your name. Take away Indiana and Ohio off your sports talk name. Call yourself what you are. You are a Team Up North homer who has little knowledge about the sport, who is terrible at making memes and jokes. Call yourself what you really are, because you, my friend, are coping so hard. We're laughing at you. Congratulations. You are now famous on the OHIO podcast and might be the worst fan from the Team Up North I have ever seen in my life. You keep being you. You are literally making my day every time you make a post. Congratulations 2 thumbs up to your page, bro. You keep being you. Make sure you like this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this fella. Go give him a follow on Facebook if you're over there. Look him up. It's fantastic. It's a great page if you enjoy humor. It's one of those things where even though he's not trying to be a comedian, he totally is. Keep watching him trip and fall on his face time and time again every time he makes a comment or a meme, because it's absolutely fantastic. You keep coping hard, bro. And maybe, just maybe, your team might get to, 9 wins this season, and you can call that a successful season in your books. But we'll see how it goes. Until then, everybody, again, like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment below, follow the page. Till next time, OH, go Bucks.